All right, we are live, which is very exciting. Starting right now at 7:30, so I'm not sure if we are getting people in the room or not yet. I've got the Facebook page open as well in case people need assistance. I can try and do both. Let's see here. I'm checking the Facebook page right now to see if there's any refreshing, anybody asking questions there. Well, maybe not. All right, this is my first Hangout, my Google Air Hangout, or Hangout on Air. Anyway, so I'm hoping that we are able to get everyone in the room here if they're trying to get in. I'm looking at our other pages. Thanks, Vivian, for sharing that our little tidbit. All right. This is for, I started this for my regional conference, which is the Maryland, Delaware, West Virginia region. But all of the information I'm going to share outside of just a rundown of our conference really quickly, all of that information is going to be pertaining to any conference. I have pulled in a list from all over the place, which I will post this lovely list of links and things later on. So just to get started, because I know some people are going to try and catch the video later. So since we are at 7:32, I'm going to go ahead and get started with just a rundown of the Maryland, Delaware, West Virginia conference. It's this March. It is a month from today, the 19th and 20th. Registration's still open, but if you wanted to sign up for a critique, I'm sorry, that is closed for now. So if you want to see a full list of the faculty, you can check out the website. But we have Betsy Bird is our keynote, which I am super excited about. I've seen her speak once. She was phenomenal. We have 3 agents, 2 senior designers, 2 editors, and 8 authors on our faculty this year. So it's a pretty packed faculty. I'm pretty excited about it. I think you should be too. Check it out. If you have any questions about any of the faculty or any of that, you can post it on our Facebook page or on Twitter, and we will get back to you. So our conference will start Friday night. If you are staying at the Christine Inn, which is right across the street, it's in the same courtyard as the conference center. And we just start with dinner and a fun game night, mix and mingle kind of thing, get to know each other. And then 8:30 registration starts on Saturday. Betsy Bird is right at 9 o'clock, so you don't want to miss her, definitely. And then we have 2 breakouts before lunch, and 1 person viewing live will get a handy dandy skip the lunch line pass today, which is awesome, because if you've been there before, you know that line can get really long. Then we have 3 breakouts after lunch, and then a faculty panel where they will answer questions from throughout the day. And people can ask questions beforehand, email them into us, and we can make a list there. And then that night we will have a dinner and another mix and mingle, snacks and drinks and things. And then Sunday morning, we have our workshops from 9 to 12, which when you sign up for the conference, if you choose to do a workshop, you sign up for that there. During the conference, the Sweet 16 authors that are speaking at the conference are doing an on-the-spot query letter critique booth. So it's like you pay $10 and you can drop in basis, and you get 10 minutes with them helping you with your critique. Your query letter. So bring those query letters, and these authors are authors that have books coming out this year, so 2016. So that is the basic rundown I have for our conference that's coming up. And so the rest of this, so that was 2 minutes of my spiel. The rest of the stuff I have together is about just conferences in general. And if anybody has any questions, there is a Q&A app, so it tells me, that you can add questions to the side, and then people can, if you have the same question, you can hit the +1 and it'll pop it up so that I make sure that I see it. If I miss your question, make sure you either email it to me, tweet me, or put it on our Facebook page, and I will get it answered for you. So some things to do pre-conference. This is why I wanted to do it a month in advance so you have plenty of time to get all of your ducks in a row, so to speak. One thing that people talk, it is on every single list I looked at, every single one. So, and that is a business card. If you do not have a business card, get a business card. They don't have to be fancy, promise. Some things that I have seen is to include a photo. That is one that I have really liked looking back through business cards, because you meet 100 people in a day and it's so much easier to remember the faces with the names. Also, less is more on your business card. You don't need to put every single social media thing that you might possibly use. You want to use the ones that you actually do use. So for example, I don't use my personal Facebook page on my business cards because I don't use that until I've developed some kind of a friendship with the person. Whether sometimes it is only online that I've developed the friendship, but I also don't use it to get to know agents and editors that way. But I do use it once I've joined different groups. But it doesn't go on my thing that I hand out to everybody. But my Twitter information is on there, as well as my email and my website. That's another one. If you don't have a website, get on that. You need a website. Doesn't have to be fancy. It has to have your name and about page. Nothing too wild and crazy. You can get wild and crazy later. You want your business card as well as your website to be clean and professional. Having something that looks the same across all of your marketing things, like your business card, like your Twitter page, whatever social media you're on, using the same picture on all of those things, using the same colors and themes on all of those pages is going to help with your personal brand and help people remember who you are. So if you are an illustrator on your business cards, I've seen people use just pick one of your favorite prints and put that on there. Another one that I heard at a conference a couple years ago is using the address labels that you get, the peel off address labels, and on your computer, if you have been recently published, putting your whatever book it is that's coming out, putting that on those and slapping them on the back of your business cards. I've also heard people using that for the pitch of a book that they are out there trying to promote and sell. So another more prep business after business cards is, so you've selected the conference you're going to go to, you're ready to go, you've all your travel arrangements made, you've signed up for the hotel, you got all that logistical stuff out of the way. So now look at the sessions. Once they post those, read through what each one is, figure out, give yourself a plan, write down what your plan is. What are you going to go to in the first breakout? What are you going to do if the first breakout is so full that they're not letting anyone else in because the fire marshal told them there's too many people in the room? Where are you going to go next? It's possible. Could happen. Have a plan so that that part isn't going to stress you out. I know me personally, that stresses me out. Like, it's something that if I have it done beforehand, I don't have to think about it. It's easy to do. So research the speakers, know things about them, read their books if you want, which is something that I have done a couple times. This is Betsy Bird's coming. So this is her book that I love, Wild Things, Acts of Mischief in Children's Literature. As you can see, we did a trivia thing last year, and I have tabbed it all up for different children's lit trivia things. So, just pick out a couple things of theirs and go to the library and have yourself a little sit down and read through some things. You're going to get so much more out of knowing the work that that person has produced when you hear them speak. It gives you another level of discussion with that person. So, and then once you know, so you've looked at your list of speakers, you know who's coming, connect with them virtually. So many of them are on Twitter. If you are on Twitter, follow them on Twitter. If they have a public Facebook page, follow them that way. You know, connect and say, hey, I'm really excited to see you at, you know, XYZ conference that I'm going to in 2 weeks. I can't wait to meet you. This is when something like when you've read their book can really help. I really enjoyed what you said in this manuscript, in this piece of work that you did. Or if it's an illustrator that you're going to see, you know, the work that you did in this book, the work that you did here, I've really enjoyed seeing your stuff. Everybody likes it when you talk about how great you think they are, right? I mean, I do. I know you do, right? So connect virtually. It's a really great idea to do before and after. We'll get to that later. And then another pre-conference thing to do is to perfect your pitch. Now this, we have As the Eraser Burns, which is the Maryland, Delaware, West Virginia's blog, SCBWI blog. I got most of this off of one of their pages from conferences ago. So perfect your pitch. Think of it as an advertisement. You know, you want that 2, 3, couple of second things you're going to spit out and you're going to know it, right? So on the blog, which I will post all the things that I've mentioned here, I will post the list of all the links and stuff for you guys. But so while you're coming up with it, study movie descriptions, novel descriptions, those things that are really short, they're 2 sentences on anywhere, and you kind of get an idea for what the movie is about or the book is about. Now, after you've written the one for you, read it out loud. This is something that you're going to say to other people. So you want to practice reading it out loud, because if you're stumbling over it and there's nobody else around except for your cat, you're gonna stumble when you're in front of that agent and you're already jittery. So you want to make sure that it's easy for you to say, and then memorize it. Memorize it so much you start saying it in your sleep. You just want to know it as well as you know that piece that you've written, or that piece that you've illustrated. You want to have such a knowledge of it that it gives off this ray of confidence, because people are drawn to confidence, as we all know. So now you've done all your prep work, you're ready to go, you're hyped up, and you get to the conference. What do you do, right? So networking 101, this is another As the Eraser Burns blog post. So you've researched people, you've looked at their Twitter handles, you've looked at their blogs. Make yourself a chatty cheat sheet. Come up with little things that you can be lead-ins to conversations. Like, oh, I noticed you just went whitewater rafting last weekend. How was that? They don't have to be wedding related. They don't have to be kidlit related. What you want to do is create relationships. You want people to remember you for having, you want to say, oh, this person was really awesome to talk to. I really love talking to them. You're going to get that by creating relationships and having these interesting conversations. So having a little sheet that you've come up with beforehand that has 1 or 2 little things that that this faculty member has put out, and you don't go like getting stalkerish, because we know sometimes Facebook can get that way, right, you guys? But if it's out on Twitter and it's out on their blog, then they put it out there, so they know that other people know about it. Excuse me. Sit next to someone you don't know. When you walk into the first big keynote speech, the first thing you're going to want to do is say hey to all of your buddies, right? Excuse me. But, well, that's great and awesome. And one thing that I love to do, it is also a place for you to sit down next to somebody that you may not know as well, you may not know at all. So maybe you and a friend go together and sit next to 2 people you don't know. Squeeze in between those seats, get cozy, get to know each other. Exchange business cards. Again, business cards, right? You guys are going to get sick of me saying business cards. But Anytime that you're in a group, anytime you sit next to somebody and you have a conversation, exchange business cards. So I forget all the time. So, but which is helpful, right? I've told you all to bring business cards and then I continue to forget that I have them. Really helpful. But when you take them, so you've gotten somebody's business card and you take them and write something on the back that you talked about together. Anything at all. Maybe it was something that they said that you thought was really inspiring. Maybe it was just, I met Sue at the picture book workshop at SCBWI. And then you remember where you met, where you sat, whatever. Just, they don't have to be crazy. We don't have to get stressed out about this. So people like to talk about themselves, right? Now, some people, it is hard to get them talking, but once they do get talking, what they will remember is that you pulled things out of them, that you were interested in them. So asking questions and getting people to talk about themselves is awesome. Now, something I wanted to bring up, and SCBWI is really great about, letting people know where boundaries are and things. So when people are when faculty's hanging out, agents, editors, when they're, just chilling in the hallway next to the buffet table, or even when we're eating meals in the big cafeteria, I guess it's cafeteria. Those are fine times to go up and sit down and start a conversation. When they're heading to the bathroom, probably not a good plan. When they're heading back over to the Christine Inn to go to sleep or finish up an email or whatever, probably not a good time either. So, and this was I made a little extra tidbit. You can see this in a different color. Don't be offended if someone doesn't remember you. This may be someone that you have met at a previous SCBWI event or any event, and you made this strong connection. Well, they may have met hundreds and hundreds of people that day and made connections with different people. So they're going to be those people for you that are like, oh, we had this great conversation, don't you remember? And you're like, no, sorry, I don't. And they're going to be those people for you that don't remember. But it's not a personal thing. We just have to remember that you meet hundreds of people, you're going to forget a few. It happens. All right, hold on. There was a message over here. Let me see what this says. See, this is Veronica posted on the Google Plus page that a tip for meeting editors and agents at a conference is to remember that they are people too, and they get nervous about meeting people just like we do. That is definitely something to remember too. They are just people. They just happen to be gatekeepers, but they are just people. They're not gods for us to freak out about, right? All right, so another conference business is paid critiques. So I don't know who has a paid critique, who's gotten a paid critique. They can be amazing. People rant and rave about them, and then some people didn't have the best experience. So I'm going to give you some tips to try and get you to be in that space to get a great experience. So first one is come prepared. Bring a copy of your manuscript and have a list of questions ready about your current manuscript. So anything that you can think of, maybe it's little style things, maybe it's big trend things, anything you can think of. You have paid for that allotted time at our conference. It's 15 minutes. So if there are things that you want to know, ask those questions. They can be about publishing in general if you want. Also, consider having a list of what else you're working on. Specifically, as a picture book writer, this was something that was really helpful to me. For example, last year, I had a critique, and within 5 minutes, we were done talking about the manuscript. She told me it was nice, it was well written, but there was a lot of other things like it, and it didn't stand out enough to really go anywhere. What else did I have? What else did I want to talk about? So I had 10 minutes to sit there and have this conversation with this editor, and it would have really been incredibly helpful to me if I had thought of this beforehand. to have a list of my other stories ready, have all my pitches already written out, or any questions about trends or, you know, what else that her house accepted, what kind of things she liked. So that is something that I have since used and has proved amazingly helpful, because you don't want to get that deer in the headlights look that's like, okay, well, I'm glad we have 10 minutes, but I got nothing, because I've been there too. It's not good. Stresses you out, and we're trying to eliminate the stress, right? So number 2 is listen to your critiquer. That's what you paid them for, is to listen to their opinion. Keyword there is opinion. It's their feedback. It doesn't mean you have to agree, but you don't want to spend your time going back and forth about trying to defend your work. You paid for what they have to say, so it behooves you to listen to what they have to say. And then number 3 is to take notes, because you're going to forget things. And though you think you're absorbing it, you'll get to sit down later to look at the notes that they left you, or to maybe do some revisions, and there'll be something that you know that they said and it's right there and you just can't quite remember what it is. So taking notes is key. And number 4 is to relax. They're nice people. On the majority, people are generally pretty nice, right? So going into this thing and being relaxed, and it goes back again to what Veronica was saying, you know, they're people too, so it's okay. Actually, she posted one other thing about critiques before we move on. She said that, remember, you can sometimes get the best critiques from authors, so don't discount those critique slots. That is exactly, that's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful tidbit to share, because sometimes you will get the most detailed and somebody that has walked in your shoes. You guys are moving on the same track, you know, so there's an understanding there between groups, which is awesome. So definitely don't get discouraged because you didn't get that editor or agent that you just absolutely knew was going to pick up something, because the likelihood is they weren't. I'm sorry. That's true. Which we all know realistically, but we also, you know, get really excited and dream big, right? Okay, so I have my top 10 quick rapid fire tips for conference success. So, you know, obviously they'll be really good. Make your number one, make your name badge visible. So don't get it stuck in your scarf or underneath your sweater or wherever. Make it so people can see it, because otherwise it's not doing its job. It's not helpful. Number 2, guess what, guys? Bring business cards. Business cards. Number 3, bring a water bottle or a reusable travel mug. Hydrate with less spills. Super good. And you're less likely to forget that in the conference room, which means less cleanup if they have to move chairs and do other things. Number 4 is to bring a pen, pencil, writing instrument, whatever you like to use that, and something to take notes on. Again, it goes back to, you may think you're remembering things, but you're going to get home and be on overload. So there's so much to learn. Number 4, and I mentioned this earlier, was to have a plan, but be willing to stray from it. Because as we do like to dream big, sometimes it might be, you might be having this really great conversation with this agent or this editor or this author, and you're getting really great information and you're really creating a wonderful connection. You can continue to do that. You don't have to break it up. If both of you want to sit there and sit for another 10, 15, 20 minutes and hang out, be flexible and do that. It's your conference. Do it. Go at your speed and be willing to alter your plan if things change. Excuse me one second. I'm busy. I will talk to you later. Sorry, children. Number 6, take photos. How many of us have a smartphone, right? That we can go ahead and snap pictures on the go all over the place. And then later, when you get home and you're going through things, find those people on social media that you connected with earlier and send out those pictures. Tag them in pictures. That's going to create another connection where hopefully they'll start to remember you. And that's what we want. Making connections, networking, right? Number 7, this one's a hard one, guys. Be brave. Sit next to that person you don't know. Say hi to that agent that makes you jittery. Step out of your comfort zone. This is a great place to do that because we're all there for the same reasons. We love Kid Lit, right? From the tiny little ones to the tall ones, we love it all. So this is a great place to step out and break your mold a little bit. Number 8 is be realistic. And this goes back to something I said just a couple minutes ago about it's not, though we dream about it and it's going to be awesome and the person's going to read my manuscript and they're going to sign me on the spot. This is really probably not going to happen. It's great to dream about. And I can tell you, I think about it more often than I probably should. But it's a dream and it's hope and it will get there eventually, but not necessarily at this particular conference, right? Number 9 is to relax. And number 10 is to have fun. So they kind of go together. Enjoy yourself. It's your conference, you know, get in there and just, I don't know, enjoy it, you know? So, and I have some post-conference things to think about. So these things just to put in your brain for a little while later. But number 1 on my list is thank you notes, either by email or hard copy. So this is when your notes can come in really handy, and writing those things on the back of your business cards can come in really handy. Just knowing what to add in your thank you note. So, and if you're doing hard copy ones, which everybody loves a little note in the mail, right? I always include another business card in my thank you notes. And we've talked about this a couple times. Connect on social media. It's a big thing. Social media is big. It's really not my favorite, but we do it, right? Some things are fun. And this part should be fun. Enjoy it. Have a good time with it. And then number 3 is get more involved. The more involved you are, the more connections you're going to be able to make because you're going to be at more things. You're going to be more comfortable and more confident, which is going to help you be braver, like we talked about before, and break out and enjoy it more. You're going to expand your community and you're going to be giving back to that community. So yeah, volunteer. I got that. That was one of the first pieces of advice that I got when I decided to go on this crazy journey, right? Was to volunteer with SCBWI. And it's really made a huge difference. The connections that I have and the people that remember you because you have a slightly different relationship with them than someone who just comes straight to the conference, because you're helping the faculty navigate the conference in certain aspects and in certain ways. So if you're listening, you're going to be at the Maryland, Delaware, West Virginia conference and you want to volunteer, email us, let us know. Always use more help, always. So let's see, I had one more question pop up over the year. Oh, so is that tell about the fun stuff we're playing for Saturday. Saturday is just going to be, oh, thanks, Mike. It just popped up that was you. It's really just going to be laid back and fun. And we're just going to hang out, mix and mingle. We'll have snacks, probably some wine. Last year, there was a hashtag on Twitter that had popped up. It was like something about real life and YA. And it was, things like girl got up, saw 2 boys, didn't talk to either of them, went home. Like, they were hilarious. We had a really good time trying to come up with better ones or just reading through the list. So we really kept it open to just having a good time and making those connections. There's actually a group of people that also went to go watch a movie in one of the conference rooms. So it's going to be a very fluid, fun night, but we're all going to be downstairs in the Christine Inn, just hang out, getting to know each other, making those connections. So if anybody else has any questions, you can pop them over on the questions bar. And it looks like I might have gotten something over here on Facebook. So let me check that. Oh gosh, it's not gonna let me do it. Hold on. Let's see. Maybe it'll let me do it on here. Nope. I don't think I got anything from here. Great. Okay, well, so to win the most coveted Jump the Lunch Line ticket, oh, I should have had a really great trivia question, but I didn't think of that. So let's see. We will use something from, here we go. Oh, that one is not, that one's too hard. That one's, no. It was what was digitally removed from a photo on Clement Hurd's original jacket photograph. If anybody knows that, they removed something when they reprinted it. Let's see. Some of these are really hard, you guys. I should have had a good one. These are about wills and stuff. These might be ones that I decided to not make as difficult when we. Okay, how about this? Since you have to be coming to this conference, the Maryland, Delaware, West Virginia conference, obviously I can't give these out to other conferences, though that would be superb. On our logo, what is the animal on our logo? So if you can post that in the questions, the first person to post it in the questions will get this handy dandy little doodad. Oh gosh, I'm dropping things. Little doodad. And while you guys are thinking about that, checking it if you want, trying to figure it out. I also wanted to mention Veronica Bartles was posted on the Facebook page for this event about hashtag Pub Talk TV. That broadcast starts at 8:30. It sounds really, really interesting. And then she also does a live Twitter talk at the same time. So you can follow along and hang out there, which sounds really cool. I'm gonna have to check that out. So I don't know if the question section's not working or if none of you would like this great prize. So I'm just gonna hold on to it for myself then. I'll hold on to it. I'll probably give it to someone else, but it's fine. I wanted to leave you guys with two different quotes. Oh, look at that. Rhonda, you win. I'll put your name on this. I will have it for you at the registration desk. So congratulations. It is a bunny, by the way. Anyone that, I don't know if you can all see the, I guess you can't all see the questions. So this first one is from Emma Dryden. She's a freelance editor. I'll post this on both the Google Plus page and the Facebook page. But the quote from her is, "Take your time, respect the process, respect the people from whom you've gotten the feedback to begin with by not rushing without thinking. Avoid the pitfalls. Do your best work, be your best, and the rest will follow." So I really enjoyed following her on her blog and learning a whole bunch from her. And the second thing I have is about conferences. And Heather Alexander is an agent with Pippin Properties, and she was at our conference last year. And so this is from her blog, Intro Bangs. And she wrote a whole thing about how great conferences are and how important they are to get your community going. Sorry there, I just like totally blanked out. So she said, "Nothing fuels inspiration more efficiently than getting the whole team together to cheer each other on." And that's really how I feel about conferences too, is really you get together with people that love what you love. So, and for the most part, we're all really nice, right? We want to help each other. So what's one wonderful thing about the Kidlit community is there's a lot of reciprocity going on. Right? It's pretty awesome. So if anybody has any more questions, let me know. But I think that is all that I had prepared for today. So I will post up this list. Oh, on this list, I also added all of the Twitter handles for the faculty that is going to be at our conference. So it's in one handy dandy place, and you can just click and follow and click and follow and click and follow all the way down the list. So, oh, actually the last thing I had to tell you, for illustrators, this weekend, this Sunday, we are having a portfolio workshop. So setting up your portfolio, you can go to the website mddewv.scbwi.org. And that has all the information about that awesome thing coming up. And then the conference information is also on that page, and any other of our upcoming events. So definitely check that out. If you guys have any other questions, you can post them on the Google Plus page or the Facebook page. And I think we just had one pop up there. Vivian said she loves the idea of taking photos and then tagging them and posting them. And yeah, it might be time for you to turn in to get a phone that, you know, uploads. That's probably good. And she agrees with me on the business cards and sitting next to people you don't know, always helpful. So thank you guys so much for coming. This video will be on YouTube. So I'm not sure how long that's going to take it, but it'll be good when people are watching it on YouTube, listening to that bit. So that's awesome. And congratulations to Rhonda. This will be for you. I'll write your name on the back and make sure it gets to you at registration. If it is not in your registration, I will have it for you. There may, yeah, sometimes logisticals don't happen the way we want them to, but find me if you don't have this in your stuff. And I think that's it. So I will see some of you in a month, and maybe the rest of you somewhere else. So have fun on your Kidlit journey, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. Bye.